Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Sunday. Hope everybody had a great New Year's. This is the weekly kind of news aggregate show that I'm wanting to do on Sundays. The purpose of it is so that we can kind of take a step back on a Sunday and talk about and discuss some of the stories that we may have missed during the week. And what a week was it with so much news. And so that is what I wanted to talk about today. I'll tell you a little bit more about what we're going to cover in a minute, but welcome to the chat. As you enter, please say hello, tell me where you're from, and we'll get everything started. So, the first thing that I want to cover is it's very important for you to know Israel pushing censorship of the First Amendment. That's the first thing. Then we're going to talk about Megyn and Tucker because they are slowly kind of fading away to the trash bin of history and media has-beens. You're going to have some reaction to Tucker and Megyn from this past week. And then, of course, we will also talk about Maduro and all of that because that's obviously a huge news story. And there's some interesting reactions and things that are going on from that perspective and share and talk and discuss. This is an open platform. So to get started, hello, everybody. Where are you from in the chat? Please say hello. To get started, just a couple of rules. This is a space for intelligent discourse. We certainly have people that disagree. That's great. No problem there, but not going to tolerate any kind of nastiness or meanness. So if there's anything like that going on, we're going to bump you out. And then secondly, I will prioritize super chats. And so we can, if you want to help the channel grow, we can do it that one way, or please like and subscribe, and then we'll get started. So, hey, welcome everybody. People are piling in here, and I think that's great. Oh, I've got a comment already. Let me pull that up. Hello. Hello, what you doing? What we doing? Well, what I'm doing is I'm going to share some things in this weekly news aggregate of stories that I think you should know that you may have missed. They may have slipped under the radar. That's the first thing. The second thing is what I'm hoping you will do is tell me where you're from, and then join in an active, lively, productive chat with everybody that joins the stream. So that's what I'm doing here. And thank you for joining, and thank you for saying hello. So anyway, if you guys didn't see this, it's critically important. This week on Alex Jones's show, he pulled a clip from a Israeli billionaire who went on MSNBC, I think it's MSNBC this past week, talking about how we have to start censoring social media. I'm going to start with that clip. Alex is going to break it down, and then Alex will break it down, and we'll pause for chats in and out as we go. So let me go ahead and get that going. I'm going to share the screen. Let's see. And always you have to kind of bear with me as I self-produce um, for the live show. Okay, good. We've got that going well. So let me get started here. It's very important that you see this clip and we talk about it. Oops, wrong. Again, let me go ahead and produce on the fly here. Appreciate. Okay. So this guy's name is Shlomo Kramer. Listen to what he has to say. It's time to limit the First Amendment. Here we go.
I know it's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it. And quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need to control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need to stack rank the authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online and take control over what they are saying based on that ranking.
The government should control the social media.
Yeah, I know it's different.
Yeah, so even MSNBC was like, whoa, what do you mean? You talking about the government? And he says, yes, he wants the government to control the platforms. I'll let it play out, and then we'll jump over to Alex.
It's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it. And quickly.
Actually, that was the entire clip. But what I want to do now is go to Alex and have him break it down for us a little bit more. So let me share that screen. I'll share this tab instead. And here's what Alex had to say about it.
Shlomo Kramer is the godfather of modern Israeli cybersecurity hacking. He was one of the heads of the 8200 group, the 8200 group. That's their equivalent of the NSA. He has been instrumental in the last 30 plus years in getting Israeli spy tech basically into Europe and the United States, particularly telecommunications grids, cyber systems, you name it. Remember, the Israelis had Stuxnet that they put into the different machinery and power plants and things in Iran. Well, think about that. Think about kill switches, takeover switches, you name it. And the U.S. has done this to the rest of the world as well. The Chinese have done it to us, but Israel's one of the main players doing that. Well, as you know, it's all over the news. He went on CNBC, the video is below in case you missed it, and said, to protect the First Amendment, we have to basically get rid of it. Because you see, China's tyrannical, so they've got their act together, so we've got to become tyrannical and control everybody's speech at the platform.
Okay, so we'll stop there for just 1 minute. And I actually have something else from the Lieutenant Governor of Florida, who is echoing the same thing. This is all very important that everybody understands this and knows this. This is a news story that kind of flew under the radar this week because we obviously had a ton of news, just a ton of news with Mamdani being sworn in. But this is hugely important, talking about Israel wanting to censor in America our First Amendment. And I think, Alex, nobody does a better job of breaking down what really this means than Alex Jones. So I want to get you guys involved in the conversation, have you share with me what your thoughts are on this. I was very alarmed, and we'll keep it rolling, but let's have Alex keep talking about it. But big call out, and I also have another follow-up from the Lieutenant Governor of Florida. So that's something. Here we go.
Platform level. They want internet IDs. You notice that's being passed in Australia, Europe, Canada. It's all part of a larger effort. And then once you have that, you can have the global social credit score, the universal basic income, and control what everybody does and control their behavior. Like Larry Fink said a few years ago, BlackRock, they're going to use the ESG as a social credit score to control all our activities. So when he says we need to get rid of free speech to protect it, it is the most Orwellian gaslighting crap ever. But you notice why he's coming out and being so bold about it. Just like the New York Times has said, time to get rid of the First Amendment, time to get rid of the Constitution. It's because all these different tyrannical regimes, not just the Israelis, but you name it, are going to pure tyranny right now because we're in the fourth turning, global awakening, and across the board, you've got to oppose it. We've also got states like Texas, Louisiana, and others passing laws for internet.
Before we go there, Texas is actually a huge red flag that we all need to be paying attention to if you are wanting to keep America, because there is a lot of Islamic active takeover or activity going on in the state of Texas. I'll put that aside for a moment, but it is a fourth turning. Alex Jones is 100% correct. It is a fourth turning, and that's why this is so vitally important. And we can talk about Texas in a minute. A lot of news out of Texas with mosques and a whole just under the radar kind of moving in on Texas. If they get Texas, that's very scary for our elections. But I'm going to let Alex keep going.
ID to quote protect kids from porn. Parents have to do that. It's internet ID when adults as well have to, on the internet, go through this authentication. Now Australia is doing it for everybody. So, but having Israel's cybersecurity head, that's really what it currently still is, come out and say this is a real sign of desperation. Netanyahu a few months ago said we're in an 8-front war in America. We're fighting all these enemies in the Middle East, but people don't like what we're doing in America and Europe, so we've got to get control of that there. And that's what this is. So this is a foreign government, their prime minister, and now their guru of cyber security openly saying this. And it's extremely dangerous. And it fits into the larger global mark of the beast system that's coming in. They want centralized control. And the answer to AI is decentralized AI, lots of AI, independent AI. But what he's saying and what Mark Andreessen got told by the Biden administration and others, we confirm this, going back 5 years ago, is they were going to let even big tech companies build their own AI. They were coming to them and saying, really, we have one AI. We have Microsoft, Google, and Amazon acting like they're competition, but really it's one AI run by the government. We don't want.
Yeah, I can speak to the whole AI thing. And actually, there's a guy that you should follow. His name is Joe Allen. But, the AI thing is another way of really global takeover. It's Alex Jones. I understand that. Alex Jones has the reputation that he has. But Alex Jones has been 100% right on a lot of things. And it's very, very, I think what he's calling out here is extremely important. But if you understand, I mean, we've got this Israeli billionaire, head of cybersecurity. I don't know if it's Israeli government or whatever. His name is Shlomo. I'll grab his name in a minute and put it in the chat. But he's saying openly, we have to basically start to curb and censor and restrict the First Amendment. This is an Israeli that is going on an American show. And even the people in MSNBC were like, you're talking about American government starting to restrict the First Amendment. And he said, yes, absolutely. We can't have people talking free speech on platforms like X and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and Substack and wherever anybody goes. Here's a guy not from the United States trying to censor you and me, so we can't share this type of information. I thought it was a hugely, hugely upsetting and important story, and that's why I wanted to cover it in this week's news breakdown. Now, what else is important? And I'll let Alex finish. He's only got a few more seconds or so, but I want to jump and stick with me because the Florida Lieutenant Governor of Florida actually kind of agrees with them.
Want other competition, and they put major pressure on people not to do that. Trump said he'd open it all up, but now he's signed an executive order where he can centralize all the rules on AI, and states and even individuals can't sue. So that establishes basically an AI rollout dictatorship. And now it's implemented. And the argument is, well, we got to have centralization counter China, which you just heard from Slow-Mo. The same thing. So we're in a race to build AI because they're building AI and theirs is tyrannical. So we've got to make ours tyrannical too, or it won't be as effective. You see how we're building a prison for ourselves one way or another. But regardless, we don't want the U.S. government pushing for censorship. And we sure as hell don't want the Israelis doing it. That is so openly, nakedly totalitarian.
Yep.
It's disgusting. And again, you got all the leftists wanting to censor, and the Muslims want to censor, and the university censoring.
Yeah, I mean, there was so much with the Muslims this week. I've got some clips on that too. I just want to say hello as people start to pour into the chat. I'm seeing Apple Tree 1441. Hey, y'all, good to see you. And hey, Yabble Reed. I didn't mean to do that. It is, let's share some stuff. It is truth. Zionists are undermining 1A. Yeah, I mean, it's right there in this guy's own words. So it's crazy. Lark Bark, nice to see you again. And welcome back. Trying to run the chat again. Okay, Loch Ness. You thought the guy calling himself a dictator would have a free internet. Loch Ness Monster 1912. Welcome. I'm not exactly sure who you're talking about, but no. Okay, wait, here, we'll just bring, that's what y'all voted for. So I don't know if what you're talking about. We did not vote for a dictator. But anyway, we're going to keep going. We'll let Alex roll a little bit more, and then it actually gets kind of worse. So let's get back to it. And then we'll talk about, chats and all that and get everybody talking.
And they're all calling for blowing up Israel. And then it just creates this global crisis. And now the answer is put everybody in a straitjacket, censor everybody. And then we always know they let all the super extremists go around and promote murdering people and killing people, which is illegal. And then in Australia, when they have a massacre of Jews, the government comes out and says, we're going to restrict everybody's free speech, and particularly target white men and their free speech.
Yeah.
Just like in Minnesota, Tim Walz says it's not the Somalis' fault with all the theft. It's the white people. So make no mistake, folks. This censorship is always pointed at Western civilization, at Christians, and at white people, because the culture we developed of the Renaissance is incompatible with the globalist transhumanist world government they're building. And so the main target is freedom and justice and legal lawful groups promoting popular ideas of free societies.
Yeah.
The globalists, whether it's the Israelis, the Chi-Coms, the EU tyrants, the UK, the Democratic Party, they don't want it. So Trump's done some good moves on free speech overall.
Okay, I'll stop this for a second. I will share with you guys, and I actually pulled some clips and I can pull it, but there is a lot of attack on whites and on Christians. I've got some specific we can get to it later in the live stream as things unfold and conversations start to pop up in the chats. He's not wrong about that all. They're definitely, I mean, I'm seeing it and I have evidence at least that's in the Twitter sphere, where people are openly coming out and attacking a lot of white men, particularly too. So you need to be aware of that. So let me go. I want to go to the next. While you guys are saying hello to everybody. Oh, I want to go to this part too because this is very important. I'm going to share this tab instead. This guy's name.
You don't have the
Okay,
right to
stop. I should just stop for a
harm other
second.
people.
Stop. So this guy's name, I think, it's not Ryan Mata. It was Ryan Mata's post, but this gentleman who's talking right now is the acting lieutenant governor of Florida. I believe his name is Ryan as well, and I can double check that. But he is doubling down on what this Shlomo from Israel said. And listen to this, okay? So this is actually not just foreign government saying it, it's within our own government that is saying it. So you guys got to hear this.
You don't have the right to harm other people with your words, and you don't have the right to say things that have really negative, really horrible meanings. When you want people to destroy Israel, that matters. You don't have the right to harm other people with your words, and you don't have the right to say things that have really negative, really horrible meanings. When you want people to destroy Israel, that matters. You don't have the right to harm other people with your words, and you don't
Okay,
have
so
the
this
right
is
to
clearly
say
on a loop,
things.
so I'll stop playing it. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I thought we had free speech to even say something offensive. Isn't that the whole point of the First Amendment and why people died for our rights? So that isn't that what free speech is? I mean, if we're in an echo chamber and we all agree, what good is that? The point of free speech is you can say something I disagree with and maybe potentially offends me, and I can say something that maybe offends you and you disagree with. Isn't that the point of it? Well, this guy is lieutenant governor. I can look it up. I think his name is Ryan something, but he is the lieutenant governor of Florida. And as the chat pours in and we get everybody rolling and talking, I may do a quick live research on that. Apple Tree 1441. We can't afford healthcare homes, and Israel has free healthcare and homes free. And we pay for the world, that's for sure. Shadow used throw. Are you white? I am, and I have never been oppressed. LOL. I am white. Yes. I don't know. I actually think, it's a really, really good question. I mean, I see it all the time in my job. I work in corporate America, and I actually do see because we do have a takeover of American tech companies with people who are not from the United States, are not born in the United States, H-1B visas and everything else. I can honestly say there have been opportunities that I have been excluded from because I am not from that country. So yeah, I actually could say that. And I think there's a lot of other people that work in tech in corporate America who are white that could say the same thing. So yeah, to answer your question, Shadow, yeah, I have been oppressed. Every white man I know disagrees. Well, not every white man I know, because I talk to them personally. So interesting that you say that. But anyway, we'll keep it. Where are you from, by the way, Shadow? And by the way, it's fine. I'm happy to have discourse. That's kind of the point of this live stream. Where are you from? And I'd love to hear more about your point of view and how you arrive at that. So anyway, as you guys stroll in, please do let me know where you're from. Oh, I'm from Michigan, but in Chicago currently. Well, I'm in Chicago currently too, Shadow. So, are you generally you're from Michigan, but you're in Chicago? Where are you from in Chicago? Would be interested to know. I've seen a lot of discrimination towards white people. I've seen a lot of anti-white rhetoric. So have I, Lark Bark, and I actually have some other clips. In fact, you know what? Let me play it right now because I think it's probably appropriate. We don't have to go in the order that I was originally planning on. Let me get to this guy. Oh, okay, here we go. I'm going to share this tab instead. Okay, Shadow, let's talk about I'm going to show this and I'd like you to react. Here we go. And before he keeps going, and I'm going to let it keep playing, but I want to spark and I'd like you to react to that, Shadow, because it's right there, right in front of you. New York Times writer caught in anti-white rant. Now, apparently, I don't know whether this is true or not. If the family $29 million fraud resurfaces, I don't know anything about that. But I did see this clip when it came out. It came out in the beginning of December. I did see it. It went all over. It might have been suppressed. I don't know. But you can see right there, he's talking about it. And he keeps going to say how, mocking white people, terrible culture, bad food, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to keep letting that play, and then we're going to open it up to the chat. Okay, so let's bounce back to Shadow real quick. Shadow, what do you have to say about that? Yeah, but I mean, I can find the same from white people and see that pretty often also. Nobody's saying that there's not, but if you're trying to say that whites are not being attacked and there is no oppression against whites, I just showed it to you. You're 100% incorrect. Tristan Humsway, 69.99. I'm white, born in Utah, and have never felt oppressed. If you live in America, you've never been oppressed. Well, Tristan, I will tell you this. Do you live in an all white neighborhood? Utah's probably pretty white. I'd like you to come and visit the city of Chicago because it's actually probably, I mean, it's almost where whites are the minorities now, actually. And I said earlier in the chat, I have been oppressed as a white person working in big tech. You simply don't get the same opportunities that certain people from certain companies get. You're actually boxed out. It's a real thing. And I'll give you a total, I mean, I know of a company where there was somebody from a certain country was promoted to basically be the CEO. And out of 8 leadership positions, 6 went to men from that same country. And then there was 2 other people that were white that were promoted. So I've seen it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I've experienced it from government. There's racists of all colors. Yes, there are. But all we're saying is there's also racism against white people. So if you think it's just, whites against blacks, you're living in just a different world. Boomers did this to us. They let the Zionists take over America. We'll keep it going. I said, whites aren't oppressed. You showed one person at one meeting that isn't even government, LOL. Well, I mean, I'm not, this is not, the point of this is not talking, it's really talking about the censorship. That's what I wanted to cover. I think this is also important too for conversation. But I mean, I can find it all over. And like I said, Shadow, I've lived it. Now, my question to you, Shadow, is do you work for the government? You're from Michigan. You live in Chicago. I'm guessing you're probably a liberal, or at least you support more left wing policies. I'm just guessing that because you're from Michigan and now you're in Chicago. And I live in Chicago myself, and I'm from Chicago, and I live downtown, and I see it all around me. So this is my lived reality. It's real. There are a lot of conservatives in Chicago, but there's a lot of Chicago is one of the most radical um, cities in the United States. And I live it, so I know this. Okay, let's get some more people talking. For it to be a violation of free speech, the government has to infringe your rights, not private groups of people. Okay, well, great. By choice, I live in white neighborhoods in Colorado now. So, yeah, so Tristan, you really have no frame of reference and you're not living what many of us are actually living. So, there is a lot of oppression against whites. There just is. And it's a reality. In fact, I never understood why men, and I always said this to my friends who are liberal and would always vote for Democrats. And I'd say, you do understand that white males are their number one target, And I can also say this because I worked for a minority owned business in the city of Chicago that is very connected and very, very DEI driven, all about minorities. And so, I mean, I have lived this. I have seen this. I'm not somebody who's living in Utah. Nothing wrong with that, Tristan, but you're living like in a white neighborhood and kind of talking about something that you really don't have any frame of reference and no real world experience about. So I'm just trying to share with you something that I see in real life. Just because racism against white people exists doesn't make it oppression or violation of freedom of speech. They have freedom of speech to be racist against white people. That's not oppression. Okay, but if the whites were to try it any other way, I just wonder what would happen. Anyway, interesting. We'll keep it going. And by the way, we've got 57 people joining us. It's fabulous. Let me know where you're from. I want to get some others involved in this conversation. And while we're at it, please say hello, introduce yourself. And if you want to support this channel, at the minimum, please like and subscribe. It's free. But if you like my content and you want to help me grow, I would love a super chat, and I would love you to join and be a member of Dole Monica Media so I can continue having these great conversations and making people aware of things that they may not otherwise be aware of. Okay. Anyway, we'll keep it rolling, and then we're going to get back to some things that I want to play. Blacks can't be racist. The original Clapper. Hey, I love your name and I like your hat. When I grew up, the social contract was colorblind, that we were all on the same team, Team America. Democrats hate the idea of being colorblind. They need to divide us to conquer. You really do see a lot of that, and I don't disagree. Only whites are racist. That's just simply not true. I assume you're saying that in jest, and I'm going to assume the best of you, the original Clapper, and that you're saying this with sarcasm. But correct me if I'm wrong. Are you white or Jewish? I'm white. I don't know if you're asking me. I reported this stream for racism. Okay, I don't know why you would do that, and it's not racism. I'm just discussing clips. So anyway, what we'll do is we'll get you out of here. Goodbye. Okay, let's get back to what I was talking about. So the next thing, and I want to get off of this because obviously that is not the point of this stream. It's not to sit there and talk about, racism, is there white suppression and all that kind of stuff. That's not the point of it. I wanted to bring up actually the censorship coming out of Israel, and then a lieutenant governor of Florida actually backing it up. Now we're going to move to the next thing. And this does involve Candace. This does involve Tucker. And it involves that next subject. So we'll bounce to that while we let other people flow into the chat. I am a liberal. One of the reasons I hate the New Democrat Party is listen to you all trying to justify censorship by saying it's a big tech thing. 30 people a day arrested in the UK for free speech. That is actually 100% correct. I'm so glad that you said that Gobe is 3SY. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. I'm so glad you said that because in Germany, they're starting to arrest people now for social media posts. And so free speech, saying things that may offend others, it's a scary, it's a scary path. There's a window company that only hires veterans and minorities. So only way to get hired is if you're white is to be a veteran. If in power, the Democrats would gladly accept UK's position on free speech and arrest all of their opposition that they speak out. Yeah, and you know what? GOB, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. GOB is 3SY. That you just said you were a liberal in an earlier post. And that's the way, liberals are always traditionally always very big proponents of free speech. And so I kind of feel like you're one of the old school liberals, but the Democrat Party now is totally different. It's the Socialist Democrat Party. It's the party of Mamdani. And it's quite scary. So we'll keep it rolling. And then I want to jump to some other things. Rotmouth, you would. Okay. We can fact check everything now. Correct, Apple. Apple Tree, you're correct. Okay, we'll keep it going. Progressive equals white man bad, liberal, orange man bad, both highly educated. Yeah, I totally understand that. So that's true. Okay. Rotmouth, it should go both ways. Pivot Snowball 67, the Republic P-47 Thunderbolt, a rugged World War II fighter, featured a powerful Pratt & Whitney R2800 engine, heavy armament, typically 50 machine guns plus. Hey, that's great. I'm glad to know. Thank you so much. Oh, Larkbark, right. Once again, DEI is heavily pushed and endorsed daily. It totally is. I mean, I do think the Trump administration's made some progress with I have like rubber. My mouth is all crazy today. But anyway, I think the Trump administration has made some progress as far as that's concerned. But yeah, it's still everywhere. Audrey Durham. Hi, Audrey. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining. Good afternoon from Boston. Thank you for saying hello. Tristan, there's a lot of white hatred, no doubt. It's a spiritual war against Christianity. Everyone has a choice to move where they're comfortable. I grew up in the most poor neighborhoods in Utah. Tristan, you're 100% correct. People can move, and there is white hatred, as there is racism. I mean, we had that guy a few minutes ago saying that this is a racist channel. It's not a racist channel. Everybody that knows any of my streams knows that. But sometimes people just don't have the financial opportunity to move, and they can't move. Like I could move, but my mother is still alive. And I don't want to leave Chicago, and she doesn't really want to move. I can financially do it. And once, my older generation, unfortunately passes away, I probably will move. But not everybody has the freedom to do it for various reasons. And once you get outside of, Utah and rural America, and I know Utah's not all rural, but if you get outside of the major cities, you're experiencing something very different than the people in New York City, Los Angeles, Milwaukee, Boston, just any of the big urban cities are experiencing. It's two different worlds. And I have traveled the country a lot in my job, and I'll go to like Omaha. I went to Omaha a lot this past summer. It's so different than Chicago. It's different than Milwaukee. It's different than going to Michigan. It's just very, very different. I'm going to go back down to Florida in a couple of weeks. I go to Florida every year in February. It's very, very different neighborhood there. It's just different. So, I mean, I do encourage you to get out and maybe travel a little bit, because you'll see what a lot of us are seeing. So let's keep going. And we'll get some other people in the chat here. I'm supposed to be called honky, cracker, mayonnaise, and just accept it. Okay. If blacks can't be racist, then neither can be whites. Okay. Maybe oppressed is the wrong word. How? Hi, Sonny. Yeah, you make a good, that's probably a better choice of words. We have to be obviously going back to censorship and how I open this stream, be careful. And I think that that is, that's a good guidance. Thank you. Patrick Galban 1110. My family never had black slaves, but we owned some as pets. Oh, no, that's no. We cannot do that. I don't like that. I'm not going to get my channel in trouble because that I am not doing that. So we're getting off this topic right now. It's getting not good. Let's go to Tucker and what Tucker did. So Tucker had on a guy this week. Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry, everybody. The cat, he joined for a minute and walked right across my keyboard here. Anyway, I'm going to go to Tucker. Let me get there. So Tucker Carlson had on Ian Carroll earlier this week in his on his show. Ian Carroll is a guy who he's an independent journalist. And at the outset, I want to say this about Ian Carroll. Ian Carroll has been firmly in Candace's camp. He is an advocate of Candace Owens. He is kind of spreading all of this propaganda. But Ian Carroll, I'm not going to knock him. He's being knocked a lot on Twitter and in different spaces because of he was a pizza delivery guy. And I'm not going to knock him because he was a pizza delivery guy. I think it's important that he's an independent creator, as we saw Nick Shirley from last week, kind of doing sort of the job that Tucker and Megyn used to do. And so I'm going to say that at the outset. I want to get going here with the beginning of this clip and then a reaction to what Tucker's great. I mean, I think it's just a huge misunderstanding that Tucker is having about this entire Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk investigation thing. He does not understand why people are getting upset about this. And let me just kind of get going and start to play that. So here's the beginning of it.
Charlie Kirk is months ago now. And to this day, I think the most Americans still feel like we don't have an honest set of answers. Whether you believe it was Tyler Robinson or you believe it was some version of some other conspiracy, I think that a lot of people feel very underwhelmed by the way it was handled by Cash, the way it was handled by every government official involved. And that should have been the most basic one.
So I didn't want to talk about this because I know everyone involved very well. And
okay, pay close attention to what Tucker's going to say here because he doesn't understand why people are so upset. And it's key. And I'm disappointed in Tucker. Here we go.
I feel emotional about it. And I'm going out, day after tomorrow to speak at Turning Point at Charlie's request. But I don't, the hostility that I don't know what that was. The onus is on the government to prove it was a lone gunman. Okay. That's up to them, not up to me.
That's their job.
I'm not accusing anybody. I don't know exactly what happened. There is a lot of evidence that Tyler Robinson was involved, at least from what I read.
Yep.
If those text messages are real and the murder weapon is, I'm willing to believe anything, but I do think it's up to them to prove it to us.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't understand. There's been an enormous amount of rage, different people with different views getting mad at each other. There's been almost no pressure on federal law enforcement to cough up the freaking facts and to tell a story that makes sense.
Okay, Tucker. So there's a couple of reasons for that, Tucker. The first thing is I think you don't understand at all what people are mad about. I'll tell you exactly what people are mad about. I don't like, and I'm upset with you, is the lack of your moral fortitude as a very, very close friend of Charlie's, of Erica's, of Candace's and everybody in that immediate circle that you don't have the moral fortitude to turn to Candace and say, knock it off. Stop it. You are accusing Erica Kirk, basically, because that's what she's doing, accusing Erica Kirk of basically, being involved or complicit or in her own husband's assassination, unalive, whatever. Okay. That's what people are mad about. The second thing is, I don't know where you've been, Tucker, but yes, people are asking questions of the FBI. Two things can be true at once. But I can be angry about what I'm seeing and this outrageous behavior from Candace Owens. It's, in my opinion, this it's shocking, the spitefulness of your behavior or her behavior and you not calling it out as a close friend. I mean, what in the world? What is, would you think? I mean, how could you be a close friend of Tucker's and let somebody attack his wife like that? That's the first thing. Now, I want to look into the chat for a second and kind of start welcoming others, and we'll stop here and we'll take some. Thank you, Lark Bark. Okay, the NBA is racist. Let's just kind of keep this going. Valerie Steele Katana 5798. Yeah, I saw that clip. Israel is only going to make more people hate them. This might be a topic that unites the public if Israel continues to push. It's very upsetting. I was really, really very upsetting. Go check yourself. I was a liberal until I saw the proof that liberals are the most dangerous people in America. Well, welcome. We're glad. Yeah, I'm glad to have you. Glad to have you. Definitely. And I think there's so many of us that are of independent thinkers and of independent mind, and we can call out both sides. I'm not a big, huge fan of the Republican Party. I don't know that I'm a conservative. I certainly don't align with the Mark Levins of the world. I really don't. I think, or George Bush, but I'm certainly not with Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, Gavin Newsom, or any of those people. I think that MAGA is really the independents and the majority, those center people in the country. That's what I believe. Anyway, I'm going to keep it going. I know we're kind of bouncing around a lot, but I appreciate the support. It was getting a little bit off course with the whole racism kind of thing. Dude, nobody cares about Canada. Why would we take over Canada when half of the oil, blah, blah, blah. Okay, keep going. Trump needs to help Great Britain by going after their tyrannical government. And let's not forget the government of Great Britain has threatened to arrest Americans. It's very, very scary what's happened over in Great Britain, and we want to prevent that from happening in the United States. We got 89 in the chat. Make sure you say hello and tell me where you're from. Go chuck yourself. By the way, I really like your name. I think that's like totally funny. Socialism is the impact of capitalism. People accept socialism when they don't have anywhere else to turn because our social programs are breaking down, and we're a society and we need to take care. Tristan, you are so right. It is against Christians. Okay. Real Jewish people are white Caucasian. That is archaeological fact. Okay, we'll keep it going. Okay. Okay, we're not going to get into the racist comment that I love the cat as well. I know he always shows up. He likes to be on these shows. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna bump him out, Lark Bark. This is not what I'm looking for today. So Tucker is right about everything he is saying. Alan West, 9447. I do think Tucker is disappointing. I don't understand what he's saying. I don't understand why he doesn't understand that people do not like Candace Owens trying to ruin everything that Charlie Kirk built, that she's spreading lies, which have been debunked. How is he not understanding this? I don't get it. And then he has Ian Carroll on. I don't have a really big problem of him, putting whoever he wants to have on his show. But Ian Carroll has actually been, really kind of spreading a lot of the Candace just falsities. These are falsities, and Ian Carroll has been a big pusher of that. And I don't understand. My outrage comes at you, Tucker, for not having the moral fortitude. Guys, it's what is right is right. Does anyone agree with me? What is right is right. It's about like morals and moral compasses and things like that. You do not let somebody like Candace Owens, who obviously has some other agenda, attack and tear down your supposed best friend or one of your closest friends of your life and ruin everything that he built. That is why people are mad at you, Tucker. Don't you understand? What is it that you're missing? And in a minute, I'm going to bounce to Megyn Kelly and see what's happening to Megyn Kelly, because she's really in the dustbin of media has-beens now. She's no longer relevant. But anyway, I'm going to get to some chats, and we all know who is Ian. Okay, I'm not sure that everybody knew that. Inhumane society. I'm embarrassed to be Jewish. Israel destroyed our reputation globally. It's really kind of interesting to see what's happening. I mean, it's almost like there was so much news this week. I wasn't sure which stories I wanted to cover. And, it's moving very quickly, and everything, the narrative and what we're seeing on social media and all this kind of stuff is moving very quickly. And some of it is quite alarming. Like, I'm kind of alarmed at where Tucker is on this whole thing. And it's just crazy. So we'll get a few more chats and then we'll go to Megyn Kelly. But I mean, so far, you guys, what are you thinking about? I mean, am I spot on? Is Tucker like just not getting the message about what people are mad about? And by the way, FBI, I don't even actually think it's an FBI case. I think it's the state of Utah, and it is on them to prove it to us. But they will do that, Tucker, and that's called at trial. I mean, is it me? Isn't this how trials work? Tucker needs to run for government. Nick Shirley is doing a tremendous job, and he's getting a lot of, he's putting his life on the line, as many of the truth tellers are. It's very upsetting. It's just very upsetting that people get so upset over the truth. And I don't understand where we are as a society when people are upset about the truth. We got 108 in the chat. Please say hello and tell me where you're from. It's not propaganda if it's the truth, or you're doing a spreading propaganda and missing information. It's been confirmed by 3 different agencies. The fraud is going on in Minnesota. Yes, it is. You're correct. Tucker is bought. I don't know what's going on with Tucker. I would love to hear some of your guys' theory on what's going on with Tucker. Is he having, I mean, he is 56. Is he having like a midlife crisis or something? What is going on with Tucker? I don't get it. Okay. Tucker endorsed her. Tucker endorsed, I can't read today, endorsed Heritage Foundation's regulatory strategy to combat free speech by addressing what it described as America's virtual for anti-Israel and anti-Zionist criticism. Trump isn't for free speech. I don't think I agree with that. Tucker is the GOAT. I've been a fan of Tucker's. I just don't know where he's going right now. Winfluence 7680. Candace has gone nuts. I agree about Israel and them buying some and doing too much. Nice to have you, Winfluence. Simple maggots. Ellen, Tucker sucks. I mean, I think this is why I'm not attacking Ian Carroll, because Ian Carroll is an independent creator. And I think independent creators are going to get absolutely huge, like Nick Shirley. I don't agree with Ian Carroll on his whole Candace alignment. I don't agree with that. Apparently, he's done some good work with the shooting in Las Vegas, which is what most of this episode is about. And I'm not going to knock him for being like a pizza delivery guy or anything like that. I just don't like this narrative, and I don't like Tucker playing this, I'm just bewildered. I'm so bewildered. What are people mad about? Anyway, with that, let's watch a little bit more of Tucker and then we'll take some more of the chat.
That's got internal coherence that like, oh, that makes sense. Like, I get it.
Exactly.
And there's no pressure on them. Even the question of motive, like, again, I want to believe it was a lone gunman who was a tranny or something. I want to believe that.
That is a lot better of an answer, a lot more comfortable.
100%. I want that. By the way, I'm a middle-aged man. I'm a normie. I don't want to believe anything other than what they tell me. But they've made it impossible for me.
Yeah.
So, but I don't understand the motive. Like, they're like, well, transgenderism, which obviously I'm opposed to. But okay, was he transgender? Was he on hormones? How do you go from being this seemingly normal person to murdering a stranger with almost a dead certainty you'll be?
Obviously, there's more to the story, Tucker, and I think will all come out if you look at the charging documents. Now, I do think that it's very. We're all wondering where's Lance Twiggs and what is going on with him, but I think it's very easy to see, especially if you remember, right, the day or two after Charlie was killed, there was all this information that started to come out from Discord channels and in this these gaming channels in Discord, and they were talking about how they knew, watch the news. There's going to be big news tomorrow, and all of this, having this foreknowledge of what was going on. So I do agree that there is more to the story, but I also agree that we are going to know that when the trial starts. It is not up to the state to start to share that evidence right now. And yes, actually, it can be trans. I mean, I think that that's totally, the indoctrination, the brainwashing of somebody like a Tyler Robinson and not only that, if you're going to be on all of these, now I don't think Tyler Robinson was transitioning. I think Lance Twiggs was. Part of me almost sometimes thinks that Lance Twiggs was on the campus that day, and maybe Lance Twiggs actually took the shot. I don't know. So there are some questions. But when you're taking these heavy, heavy drugs to change your sex, and the word is that Lance Twiggs was taking like black market type of these transitioning drugs. I mean, can you imagine how dangerous that would be, and how crazy, and maybe you could become so psychologically affected by the drugs that you're taking that you would actually want to become radicalized and then go and kill somebody. I mean, there was a very interesting podcast from a couple of nights ago. I've mentioned this guy many times on my channel, that Paramount Tactical. I think you should look him up. I think he's got a great channel. He's been on Alex Jones. He did a live stream the other night with another YouTube channel, and they were going actually into this trans-Tifa and these militant, basically Antifa, trans-Tifa organizations that are highly dangerous. And that was the subject of Paramount Tactical's show the other night. But that is something that is all going to come out, I believe. And one of the things, here was what I was going to say. One of the reasons why Charlie was crying the night so hard, the night that Trump won the 2024 election, obviously, he had worked very hard. If it wasn't for Charlie and Turning Point USA, Trump doesn't win. But the other thing is, he was crying from relief because he knew that if Trump didn't win, he would have been arrested. And so that is just another aspect to this whole thing. You guys should check out Paramount Tactical's channel. It's awesome. Anyway, I want to jump back to the chat and see what everybody's saying and welcome some newcomers. Alan West, Ben was right. And I actually have a clip that I'm going to share with Ben too. Oh, Bumps Johnson. Hey, Bumps, how are you? Nice to see you again. Tucker Carlson has that type of profound ignorance that can only be explained by a life of absolute privilege. Tucker is as connected to reality as Bloomberg when he guesses a carton of milk. Yeah. I remember when Bloomberg did that. That's totally funny. Yeah, I know. I don't know what Tucker's talking about. And actually, earlier in this, if you go to Tucker's episode when he had Ian Carroll on, they were talking about Ian Carroll's, background is being like a cook, he was a pizza chef. He was all of these things. And Tucker was going on, oh yeah, I worked in pizza shops and stuff like that. And I thought, really? Did you? Weren't you kind of like, isn't he I think his mother or father, somebody married the Stouffer fortune. I mean, I think he grew up as he comes from wealth. So I know what you mean, Bumps, totally. Mega MAGA. Tucker is true American first. Okay. I'm an advocate of Candace Owens. She's doing an investigation on Charlie Kirk's assassination, and I think that's great. Someone should be doing an independent investigation on the assassination. I want to challenge you a little bit on that. Go check yourself. I don't really believe that she is doing an investigation. I don't really know what she's doing. Because, well, if you look, like I said, you want to go to this podcast the other night that Paramount Tactical had on, because there's all of this different information about the trans Tifa, these different NGOs that were, and a color revolutionists that were involved in, and it kind of connecting the dots to the Charlie Kirk, being killed. And the people from this, it's Patriot Source, I believe their name is, they said, look, we gave this information to Candace, handed it to her. She has this information, yet she will not go down that path. She will not look at the charging documents. She will not go into the Discord chats and, start to look at the people that were posting things about, I think there was a song that came out that said Charlie Kirk's going to be a dead person at like 31, and pay attention, big news coming on September 10th, and all of this other stuff that was going on. She will not look down that thread. Why not? There's real evidence there. So I'm going to challenge you a little bit on that. Go check yourself. I don't believe that she's doing an investigation. I don't know what she's doing. And the question that came out of Paramount Tactical's show the other day was, is she part of a psyop that she doesn't know that she's part of? And so, there's just I think very valid things that are not being discussed. Okay. De-influence. I agree with a lot of what Tucker says, but not everything. I'm with you on that too. We'll keep going. Tucker is a paid troll. I don't know what's going on with Tucker. I mean, I have questions about it myself. I'm just really not sure. Tucker is smart. He doesn't misunderstand anything. He is deliberate in everything he does, and he understands exactly the entire situation. The OK Kitty Farm. So what is your point of view on, he does understand. I think he is agreeing with Candace, and he doesn't have the balls to say, no, I agree completely with what Candace Owens is doing. I don't know what his motive is. I think that there's something wrong with somebody who would allow. And remember, all of these people are close friends. They're all close friends. And he's allowing the widow of Charlie Kirk to be attacked and besmirched, and Turning Point USA being attacked and besmirched and to be potentially destroyed. He's allowing that. I think that's a moral fortitude problem. I could tell you, if it was anyone, if one of my friends, I couldn't see any of the husbands of my friends allowing anything like that. If, there was a widow in our crowd and had suffered something like what Erica Kirk has suffered. I just think it's outrageous. Tucker is a slime. Alan, do you not like Tucker? I'm getting the feeling you don't really like Tucker. Bumps Johnson, an investigation is not supposed to be transparent. These people want the list of names the FBI have interviewed. Exactly. They want the evidence presented in real time. They're an angry mob. They are an angry mob. And, where does Candace Owens kind of get off demanding that she be presented with information? I said this a couple of weeks ago in a live stream from a few weeks ago. She has no seat at that table. She is not, an attorney. She's not a part of law enforcement. She's nothing as far as this is concerned. She is a bystander and no one owes her anything. And I just think it's outrageous that people are acquiescing to her. I can't get over it. Okay, let's take a few more chats and then we're going to get to Megyn Kelly. No, I'm not literally saying you're just incorrect. I'm not saying she doesn't want can't. No, I'm not saying that at all. She can ask questions. I think when you act in a way that is um attacking and besmirching somebody who just lost their husband is it's just it's not the right way to act. That's what I think. She could say what she wants. I'm not telling her, I'm not saying, hey, take down her show or anything like that. I'm calling her out as being a phony and a fraud. There's a difference. That's not free speech. I'm allowed to say that. Candace is allowed to say it. And I'm allowed, and we're all allowed in this chat to go, hey, that sounds like nonsense to me, or not. Why should Tucker do that? I'm not mad at Tucker and millions of his followers. Why should Tucker do what? I think because it's wrong. You should have a moral. It's called right and wrong, Apple. We need to get back to right and wrong. It is wrong. You do not attack a widow. You do not try to ruin their business, which is what Candace Owens is doing. And she actually said it, and Piers Morgan called her out. And I did it on one of my live streams and maybe one of my videos from a couple of weeks ago, where she honestly said this is a godforsaken organization and started to encourage donors not to give them any money. So that's why Tucker should do it, because it's wrong. How about right and wrong? Do you remember that, Apple? We need to get back to right and wrong in this country. I mean, really? You've seen Tucker's text from the Fox News lawsuit, right? He didn't like Kirk. He spoke like people were disposable around him. Well, X finds the facts. I don't really know. I mean, again, it's sort of it's a mystery to me, because he is sitting there saying in that clip that, he was a really, really good friend of Tucker, of Charlie's. And so it's a mystery. I don't know what's driving Tucker. I don't know what's happened there. We're going to stay on Tucker for a couple more minutes. I'm going to take some super chats. And by the way, if you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. That's free. But if you want to support this channel, I would love it. Super chats or become a member. That would be lovely. And then we're going to go to Megyn Kelly, because she's it's not going very well for Megyn. Anyway, let's get help, Monica. Okay. I mean, you're allowed to have that opinion. They were obviously not that close of friends, more business partners. Shadow used throw. Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. Americans first, inhumane society. I absolutely, completely agree with that. My father, back when I was growing up, he used to say America for Americans. And you know what? It's American citizens first. We need to take care of the citizens of this country first. Whether you legally immigrated here or you were a legal, born here and a naturalized citizen, it's American citizens first. Exactly. 81 in the chat. Please let me know where everybody's coming from. I think we might have a global audience today too. Bumps Johnson, the government's narrative is presented to the public in a court of law. Exactly. Not the court of public opinion. Exactly. What is the end result of this chaos when nobody at TP? Yeah, exactly. Bumps. We're so aligned like that. I absolutely agree. What about Candace Owens about Erica Kirk's performative behavior? Well, I mean, I don't know that Erica Kirk is performative behavior. It doesn't matter. She can, even if she is performative behavior, which I don't necessarily accept, she is still the widow. She is still the victim. She is the next of kin. She lost her husband in a horrific, murder that was awful to see. The world saw. And she has 2 children, and her life has completely changed. And I find it despicable that Tucker Carlson doesn't have the balls to call any of this out. I just find it despicable. And that's what I wanted to talk about. Again, when I do these shows, my point is, hey, there's a lot of news. Here's what kind of stuck with me this week during the work week, 9 to 5 work week. And I want to make sure that we bring it up because I think that if it's something that bothers me and sticks in my craw or I find to be very important, I bet you there's a lot of other people that would find that to be very important too. And that's what I'm trying to do in the news aggregate show on Sundays. And I just think what really triggered me with Tucker was his behavior. Like, how do you allow this to happen if you're supposedly a close friend? I wouldn't want a friend like you, Tucker. I'll be honest. Okay, let's keep it going, and then we're gonna get going. Candace is a liar. I do think she's a liar. Audrey Durham. I think, yeah, great. Shut down APAC. Yeah, I mean, really. Agreed. Candace is a tabloid reporter. She should be seen as exactly what she is, an entertainer. Exactly. And actually, there's a post, and I can probably pull it. I pull a lot of clips and try to get everything ready for this, but she sent out a newsletter, and one of the people on Twitter was saying, people who are kind of calling her out on Twitter, and then I follow on Twitter because she literally did say, I'm cooking up more stories. I'm cooking up more stories. She's the National Enquirer. She is an entertainer. But I think she's sort of crossed the line here into something that is spiteful and dangerous and mean and morally just wrong. That's the only way I can put it. Candace is very intelligent, but she's having a mental breakdown. I wish her friends would step in. Let's go, Brandon 50. Oh, I saw you last. Nice to see you again. Yeah, I agree. I think there's something going on there. It's pretty crazy. Oh, by the way, I wanted to tell everybody if you're coming back from last week, there's some super chats that I missed, and I'm this chat like flies really quick. So my apologies if I missed it, and it's very, very appreciative. So anything that you can do to support the channel, I really appreciate, but I did not mean to miss it. And I'm trying to produce, comment, run the chat and all that kind of stuff, all one-man show here. Tucker, medical care, the electoral system, education, the judicial system, gun violence, abortions, healthy food, cults, and evangelicals. George White Iman. Monica has the same issues as dementia. Okay. I mean, seriously. We're looking for Gotham Girl. I don't know if you're aware, but at the beginning of these live streams that I do, I ask for intelligent conversation. Name calling is really not an intelligent conversation. If you want to elevate it a little bit, I'm happy to have discourse with you. But, just calling people stupid is actually more reflective of your IQ level. Okay, let's keep going. Crime rates disprove liberals are more dangerous. With you. You don't support Republicans, yet you support Trump, a Republican, and a MAGA, a Republican Party. I don't think you understand what MAGA really is. I don't think MAGA is Republican. Historically, actually, most MAGA people don't like the Republicans either. They don't like Democrats. They don't like socialist Democrats, and they don't like Republicans. I think actually MAGA party is probably the party of independence. A lot of people that don't really understand what's going on in MAGA and don't understand MAGA think that you're a Republican because you voted Trump. No, it's just we have a two-party system and he registered with the Republican Party. But that doesn't mean that I am a Republican. No, it doesn't mean that. Can't look at comments from that Israeli as meaning much. It was a dumb comment, but it aligned with how most of the world operates. Allies like friends sometimes say dumb things. Yeah, okay. Okay, go check yourself. Whether there's a conspiracy and you don't want to accept that there was a conspiracy, even if you think Tyler Robinson did it. He didn't do it alone. So there's a conspiracy here. And that's what, no, you're not hearing me. I'm not saying that there isn't more to the story. I'm not saying that the FBI has told us everything. Two things can be true at once. I can be questioning the story. But I can also understand that there's a there's charging documents, there's evidence that will come out at the trial, and it's really not at this stage that they owe us. They don't tell you what the evidence is before it goes to court. And so I don't think there's a conspiracy with regard to I don't think that Candace is onto anything with Egyptian planes, with Mitchell Snow, with men in maroon shirts. No, I don't think there's anything like that going on. I think it's far more likely that there was a trans Tifa color revolution. Probably some foreign government influence or foreign money involved in the assassination of Charlie. I think that's much more likely, and the evidence points to it. I don't think Candace is bringing anything of value or anything that has any actual proof or evidence that has any kind of legs to the table. I just don't think she is, and that's not the same thing as a conspiracy. Saying that there's more to the story is not the same thing as a conspiracy. Okay, a few more chats and then okay, cat's out of the bag. Bots will not change our mind. Gotham, but Biden was awesome. Trump is great. You will see this year. Do you influence? I completely agree. I think, first of all, we're going to get to Maduro because it's interesting what's going on there. And I'd love to know what your opinion is on that. My opinion, just, I'm going a little bit out of order of the segments that I wanted to cover. But I think with regard to Maduro and what happened yesterday, absolutely, the base loved it. The base absolutely loved it. Anybody saying that the base is split and not happy with what happened with Maduro yesterday and the actual precision to which our military pulled that off is just wrong. I was very, very happy of President Trump. So that's the first thing. But with regard to your comment, do you influence 7680? We will see this year. You know why? Because the economy is going to start to rock. You're already starting to feel it. This move with Maduro yesterday, I think, was a lot of momentum on Trump's side. And I think we're going to see a lot of good things playing out very quickly. And in the next 60, 90, 120 days, I think you're going to see a lot of really, really good things. And Trump is great. And I completely agree. Hi, New York. Time Roar 836. Hi, New York. Hey, I'm Chicago. Welcome. Welcome. How are you feeling about your new mayor? And I'm somebody who's got Brandon Johnson. So if you want to know maybe what might happen down the line, just take a look at Chicago because it's pretty crazy. I'm going to jump to new comments. Do you think it's right or wrong of the CEO to lie because their founder was murdered and you act like business as usual? I don't know what you're talking about. Bible thumper knowledge and experience is important to holding an opinion that matters, an opinion of value, one worth sharing. It's not a fallacy. Thanks, Bumps. Name calling is how Zionists operated for years to shut down any operations about them. That doesn't work no more. Brandon isn't the problem, and Chicago has the least crime. Xavier, are you from Chicago? Because you're 100%. Brandon is the problem, and Chicago has more crime than I've ever seen. And I've lived in the city. I'm not one of those people from the suburbs that say, hey, I'm from the city. I actually live in the city. So no, I don't live in Skokie or Northbrook or Glenview or, Bannockburn or anything like that. I live in the city of Chicago. You're 100% wrong. And I've lived in the city of Chicago in the same block, in the same neighborhood for 25 years. Brandon is the problem. And Chicago has got more crime. They're just not reporting it or prosecuting it. Yes, I am, and I've been in worse places than you have. Yes, you are what? I don't know what you are. I don't know what that even means. I didn't live in your white area. I don't know what you're talking about. People that name call you, they work for Zionists, you are crazy, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I live in Chicago as an Irish immigrant, and I was shocked at how some communities treated me over other people that have been there longer. X find the facts. Well, welcome. Where in Ireland are you from? A lot of my family came from Ireland too. Where are you in Chicago? X find the facts. I'd love to know. Oh, Xavier. Yeah, really not interested in name calling. You have to go in timeout because you're acting like a child. Okay, Lark Bark. Wow, these trolls really have nothing else better to do. I know, Lark Bark. It's so stupid. I like intelligent conversation, and I'm open to intelligent conversation, but I'm really not interested in name calling and stuff like that. With that, we're going to go to Megyn Kelly because Megyn, we all know what Megyn did a couple of weeks ago when she told her audience to F off, and she had that whole performance at AmFest. And so I pulled a couple of clips of Megyn, and I want to go through that with everybody else. Let me get that while the chat argues over stupid stuff. Okay. I'm going to grab it. Okay. Share this tab instead. Okay. So
I think that
Okay, so Megyn was talking about Candace Owens. She had her usual cast on, and these guys, I don't think these guys, I don't know what podcast they're from, but I don't think that these guys are like MAGA guys or even conservatives or even Republicans. They strike me more as independents. But watch the takedown that this guy does to Megyn and watch Megyn defend Candace. So again, explain the alliance with Candace to me from Tucker and Megyn. Let's go.
Candace Owens is a very, very dodgy witness in this, considering she doesn't have a ton of credibility amongst.
Okay, but wait,
anyone
let me
in line
say this
that,
in Candace's defense. First of all, she's brilliant. Candace is brilliant. I realize she's controversial, but she is very smart.
Totally normal. And the conversation.
I don't think Candace is very smart. I think she's got a talent, but I don't think that she's very smart. In fact, she was doing when she did her Twitter space the other day. And again, I've probably been stumbling over my words and all that kind of stuff today, but she doesn't know the difference between the word fray and foray. Because she was talking about somebody jumping into the fray, and she said somebody's jumping into the foray, and she meant fray. So I'm going to challenge Megyn on, is Candace really brilliant? She's talented. Is she brilliant? I don't know. Okay, let's keep it going.
That Candace Owens has about this stuff, I don't believe to be normal. I believe them to be completely insane. And they're really, really deep in blood libel, in really gross old conspiracy theories.
Can I ask you a question on that? Let me just add, an honest question for you. An honest
Sure.
question for you on that. Because I see the clips that they share of Candace online. And every once in a while, I'll go and just kind of check the clip. But I have seen Candace taken out of context many, many times.
But I assure you that this stuff isn't taken out of context. And I think what happens with people when they get into
This guy's being a rock star, and he's taking Megyn on, and I love it. I love every minute of it. But she keeps going to bat for Candace. She keeps going to bat for Candace. Why is she going to bat for Candace to the degree that she is? Because Megyn Kelly is irrelevant. She's being humiliated online. It is actually groundbreakingly shocking, the pushback she's still getting. And over the last few days, she's not really even doing, and I know it's the holidays and things like that, but she's kind of now talking about lipstick and eyeshadow that she's wearing. But this guy is taking her down like a rock star, and I loved every minute of it. Let's keep it going.
conspiracy theories, is it's never just one. They take the whole passel of them.
Well, she's not here to defend herself, but I will say, like, I have checked more than once because I see this crazy quote, and I know her a little, and she's a fighter. She's feisty. I have never known her to be some nut job. She's very, very fucking smart. Well, she and I actually have only gotten closer over the past couple of months as people try to make me attack her. So fuck off. and say that no one should ever listen to this program again because I haven't spoken out.
All right. So anyway, I thought that was absolutely wonderful. The takedown that was, Megyn Kelly. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I want to do on this channel and what I do anyway is media analysis. Like I've had it for Megyn Kelly for years. I never believed that she was MAGA. When she came back into the fray and did a mea culpa to Steve Bannon, and I can play that at any time, and I might do a long form video on it and not a live. She saw which way the wind was blowing. She saw that, MAGA and the 2024 and that Trump was going to win. And she went and she basically apologized to Steve Bannon, who went after her in 2016, and they were mortal enemies for a long, long time. And so I've been watching Megyn for a while. And so that's really some of the things that sort of bothered me this week. And I wanted to bring it up and surface it with everybody. Today, I'll see. You guys are. See, here we go. This is a troll, everybody. Are you a sock puppet account? One of none. Exactly. Takedown. This lady is arguing in bad faith. Wait, Monica supports Epstein. Again, you're going to be bumped out. You're a troll. We're not interested. True of Tucker as well. Okay. We're going to get rid of you. Not interested. True of Tucker as well. Okay. She's great. Who's great? Megyn? Okay. Yeah, you're definitely a troll and you're going to be kicked out of here because I don't need you. She's mad. She's an idiot. Okay, whatever. Okay. Anyway. Oh, what our baby. I don't even know what you guys are talking about. So anyway, Bumps Johnson, I also have college, but you are arrogant and closed-minded. I mean, honestly, are you another troll, Michael Chevrolet 7780? Seriously. Megyn Kelly is an ignorant feminist liberal. I agree. King James, it's nice to see you again. Okay, come on, we got to shoot the kitty. He's trying to get back in the video. Nice to see you again, King James. Megyn said being handsy was okay. She was a paid shill. She did say something when the Epstein files came out. She said, oh, those girls were 15 and they weren't 8. She did say something like that. You are correct. Devils never cry 47. Haters gonna hate. I know. I don't understand what this is all crazy. Okay. See ya. Bye. We're gonna get rid of all. You guys give me a second while I get rid of all these losers. Okay. Okay. I'm actually going to highlight you. One of none. Disagree with you equals troll. Really? I mean, were you not trolling me? And don't you get upset if I say something, then you start attacking? I'm not interested in you, but I wanted to at least highlight you as one of the just person I'm going to we're looking for intelligent conversation. City Shilling, 1797. Two things can be true at once. Kelly is just making the point that Candace is intelligent, but Candace's theory is wrong. If she comes up with something true, then we shall see, but not enough info for now. I agree. I just don't think that, I think Candace is very talented. I don't know that I would call her brilliant. But the reason I wanted to bring it up is because why does she have such loyalty to Candace Owens? She says she doesn't really even barely know her. I've heard some theories online that's going on with Megyn Kelly, and it has to do with she essentially is worried that Candace is going to turn on her. And I'll just leave it at that because it's all alleged and I didn't verify any of it and I don't know. And it's something that is in like the whole Twitter thing that, who knows what's true online and this and that. But that kind of makes a lot of sense to me. Is Candace, like blackmailing or threatening Megyn in some way? Is something like that happen? Why is she throwing down so hard for Candace? But Megyn is becoming irrelevant. She's just not that important anymore. She isn't. Alan West, 9447. You're right. Tucker isn't MAGA. He never has been. Talk about low IQ. These imbeciles can't have a simple conversation without getting personal. I know it's just ridiculous. And I'm learning Lark Bark. I just bump them right out. John Johnson, 77D3. Are you a lifelong Republican? Arguably, America gave Israel BB by pushing them more right wing with Iraq and yeah, absolutely. That's true. It's a Jesus thing. Cindy Schilling, I appreciate your open mind. Yeah, I do have an open mind. I've got my opinion what I think is going on here and why. I've got a personal beef with Megyn for a while. But anyway, we'll keep going. Candace is getting paid. Her demographics don't like blacks or Jews, and that's who she talks about. It's very hard to say that she's being very, very vocal with her stance on Israel and people of the Jewish faith, and it shocks me. I cannot believe the things that people say. It absolutely shocks me. And it's very, very out in the open. And there is a theory going around that, like YouTube, that the algorithm and pushing Candace for whatever reason, they're pushing Candace and they don't maybe bump my kind of channel up that much, although my channel is doing pretty well with the help of all you guys. And it is growing, but there's something to it. Okay, Bumps, I'm trying to get you back up here. Michael Chevreau, 7780. You were attacking. What is the question about Erica Kirk? Okay. Please comment this. Would BB pay millions to shut up Candace if she wasn't smart? Candace Tucker and so on. I mean, you can have whatever opinion you want, Apple, of Candace. I don't think Candace is that smart. I think she's very talented. Do I think she's a highly intelligent person? I guess maybe you have to have a certain level of intelligence to have the, a strategy and intelligence, or to be as successful as she has been. But I don't really consider her, if I'm going to go to somebody brilliant, it's not going to be Candace Owens. That's not, I think Tucker's actually pretty darn smart. Even though I'm not real happy, I think Tucker's actually quite smart. I think Megyn is quite smart. I don't think Tucker is. Candace is. Michael has been attacking a lot. Yeah, a lot of this, it's really, one of none again. Arguably, America used BB to help their cause, citing him as an expert. BB was not the major factor in their decision making. There's many voices that go into these actions. Thank you, Bumps Johnson. Do people think that these complex things are really like that easy to do? Think about all the things, think about what Trump has to decide and all the things that he knows that we don't know, and all of the repercussions for things that you do on the world stage, which, by the way, the Maduro situation is MAGA. It is making America great again. And even if it was just for oil, I'm totally okay with that. Number one, I believe that it was our oil companies and our oil, America did a lot with the oil that Maduro took over. That's the first thing. The second thing is, protecting American from threats, foreign and domestic, is job number one of the commander in chief, who Trump is. And this is very, very important from a national security standpoint as well. Not only did Maduro been indicted in New York, I think it was like 4 years ago, and Biden, was saying that, in fact, I should pull that up. This one guy talking about all of the people on the left wing, Biden, I think it was Adam Schiff, it was maybe Ro Khanna, some of the Democrats talking about how Maduro was a dictator and that his election was not legitimate. And while you guys talk, I'm going to try to find that. And by the way, if you're new to the channel, please say hello. We've got 110 in the chat. I think it's great. Please say hello. Tell me where you're from. Like and subscribe. It's free. And if you care to do more, please super chat or join, become a member of Delmonica Media and support the channel so I can do more of this kind of stuff. And while you guys are having the cross back and forth, I'm going to find a particular okay, yeah, you're out. We're just moving these people with the personal insults. It's ridiculous. Okay. It's not our oil companies. We are stealing oil. It won't benefit the American people in any way, just oil tycoons. We just have to die so someone can get rich. Stop being magatards. You couldn't be more wrong, but whatever. Okay, I'm going to find that clip. Bumps, I'm going to put you back up on the stage, and the comments are rolling in here. Let me pull this one clip that I thought was really, really very important with regard to the election and Maduro and everything else. So we can kind of move to that. Let's see here. Okay. I want to find it while everybody is having these arguments because it's really actually quite important. I'm going to go back here, go to the bookmarks. And bear with me, guys. Very, very important. In fact, let me play this clip. It's kind of fun. It was a good meme that came in over the I want to share this one. What am I sharing now? Am I sharing anything now? I don't think I'm. Hold on. Let me just. I got to go back. All right, let me try again. I'm going to share the screen. It's all crazy right now. Okay, yeah. I am sharing that. Okay, so let me get to it. Here it is. This one. Fun.
Venga por mí. Aquí lo espero en Miraflores. No hace tarde en llegar, cobarde.
I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen.
I love this one.
You're
Venga por mí.
I thought that was kind of a fun meme to share. I was really, really happy about it when it happened the other day or last night. And we got to love our president. I mean, posting like that, he's the biggest rock and roll president. It's just so much fun. But anyway, while we keep going, I'm going to bounce to that is not funny. Okay, let's look at some chats here. I don't understand it myself because of cocaine President Trump claims. Who still does that designer stuff? We have people dropping like flies from heroin and fentanyl, but big pharma Suboxone. Audrey, you actually really bring up a good point, and I do think that actually it was Joe Rogan from a couple of nights ago was covered on Alex Jones that since Trump has taken over and shut down the border, and I say this, Audrey, as my brother died of a fentanyl overdose. He was unfortunately, very addicted to drugs, and he did die suddenly at the age of 40 of a drug overdose. Fentanyl was part of it. And so I have personal real world experience with this. But Joe Rogan was going through the data just yesterday. I just saw this yesterday, and I don't think that I pulled it. But the deaths from fentanyl overdoses have plummeted since 2024, since Trump has been in office. And I wish I had it handy. I don't have it handy right now, but I think it's a really great question. I will say that if it's just for oil alone, I'm still okay with it and I'm happy about it. We got 145 in the chat. Please say hello. Tell me where you're from and we'll get some more conversation going. Mr. 50403, American companies procured licenses for resource extraction and developed the infrastructure vital to both extraction and refinement. Venezuela then seized all of it as state property. Bumps, you're 100% right. And that's why if it ends up just being the oil, that's fine. It's for our national security. And this is going to benefit Americans because we need the oil for energy. We need the oil, obviously, for food prices. I mean, something that affects everybody, food prices, logistics, all of those kind of things that energy, bring energy down. And I did a video on it a couple of weeks ago. $59 barrels of oil. Trump is right now as the president. And about a year ago, when Biden was president, it was $110, which was partly why you were seeing the food costs as expensive as they were. So you're 100% correct. You're 100% correct. And let's just keep going. Their oil is not for our national security. It's called stealing and doesn't help Americans. I inherently disagree with you. We have our own oil more than any other country in the world. I actually don't think that's true. We have quite a bit, but our reserves, because of Biden, because he depleted our oil reserves, which we need for emergencies, times of war, all of these other things, he depleted them. And our oil reserves are at all-time lows, even with Trump in office. But Bumps is right. Our American companies paid and built the infrastructure in Venezuela. So we have rights and claims on that oil. People don't die from Suboxone. I don't know whether they die from Suboxone or not, but I will tell you, because I have firsthand experience on this. My brother was on Suboxone and he did not get off of heroin because of that. And he's dead. He's been dead since July of 2018. He died when he was 40 years old. Suboxone does not help drug addicts. It just doesn't. And I've lived it, so I know this. How can you steal something that would not be there if you hadn't helped them get it? Good question. Okay, I'm on Suboxone right now. What's your point? Hey, Brian Moore, welcome to the chat. I guess my point is I have personal experience with it. And I don't know if you're cross-talking with somebody. I can't keep everything up in the chat and do all of this stuff, but I guess my prayer for you would be to be off of Suboxone and completely sober. That would be my hope for you. But it did not help my brother. It kept him addicted. And so I hope that that is not the case for you, because he did lose his life to drugs. And he was 40 years old, and he was a wonderful, wonderful person. We miss him dearly. We loved him. American companies made 100-fold their investments in Venezuela. Okay, we'll keep it going. They don't share the oil money with their people. Yeah, and we give millions to every foreigner under the sun while giving the finger to our own citizens. Who's going to come and liberate us? Barney Boyle, where are you from? Great comment. I've just got to cough for a second. So you guys, thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. Mike, his name was Mike. He was a great guy, and it was very sad. And I don't want that for you or for anybody that is suffering. I mean, I'm actually kind of tearing up. I haven't really talked about him or thought about him and what he went through in a while. And he was just a wonderfully, wonderfully funny person, brought so much joy to us. And so I'm actually, wow, a little bit surprising to me, but I hope you get off. I hope you're just going to stop for a second. And maybe I should end this. Wow, that really we'll keep going. 109 in the chat. Brian, you better like and subscribe, because you're tearing me up here. I'm thinking about my brother. He was a great person. Anyway, I'll keep going. I got it together again, guys. No, I'm not a Suboxone doctor, and I don't want to go into this, I don't. But no, I lived it. I've seen people live this. It's not good. It's about putting more oil on the world market. 109. Let's make it 110. Yes, Barney, let's do that. I appreciate that. And I hope you're liking and subscribing, and maybe you'll become a member, but support the channel if you like the content. I really do try hard, and I want to bring things that I think is important to people and that's worth talking about, and, providing like all this chat, even though we're getting a ton of trolls today. It's crazy. You are more sad about your brother than Erica is about her husband. Let's just give Erica a break. And what's funny? John Johnson 773. It's funny, grief, I will tell you this now that we're bringing it up. Grief hits you in ways you don't expect. And my brother's been gone since 2018. And I haven't thought about him or been emotional about him in a long time. But when Brian said, "Hey, I'm on Suboxone," it just it sometimes it gets you when you don't expect it. And that's what's going to happen to Erica. And I suspect is happening to Erica. So I'd like everybody to be, fair to her. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I don't, I really hadn't expected that. So sorry about that. But again, I really am rooting for anybody who has struggling with addiction. It's terrible. Just terrible. Trump is all about making people's lives better. He will bring down consumer prices in Venezuela. I totally agree. Erica hasn't grieved yet. Alan, we don't know what Erica has done. Let's be fair to her. I just think, give her some grace. It's not even been 6 months. And it was just a terrible thing. And I just think that, you're not in her shoes. You don't know what's going on in her life. And if you have ever lost anybody, I mean, grief comes in waves. It really does. Case in point, my unexpected emotional, Brian, I will remain a fan of yours and support you. Please, I'll stay in touch or whatever. I do have an email on Monica Media, and you're certainly welcome to reach out to me anytime. Literally, I lived this. I know this. And, if you ever want to talk or whatever, you're certainly welcome. Okay. So let's keep the chat going. I don't want to be too weepy about, we call them Little Mike. He was so funny. He was so funny. Such a great kid. We miss him terribly. It's not an official military strike until Pete Hegseth shares the exact coordinates with complete strangers on a funny. Alan, she's been too busy. I ate a carrot cake every day for 6 months after my mother's passing. Yeah, I mean, Audrey, I understand. I mean, grief is just different for everybody. And death is, we're all going to experience it. And I think maybe, obviously this live chat's gone in some very different directions than I had planned on today. But this is why we really have to, in this season after Christmas and Hanukkah and in the new year, is start to enjoy the people that are in your lives and value them and spend time with them and get yourself reoriented. I mean, this is politics. A lot of this is politics. Some people look at like the Candace Owens thing as entertainment and all that kind of stuff. But, we all have people that we love. And if we lose them, and Erica lost somebody that she loved, Audrey, you ate carrot cake every day after your mom, that's what really matters in life, and the people that we love. And so, don't lose sight of that. What? You are a coward, miss. Why aren't you answering the question? I don't know what you're talking about. I may have missed it. I'm trying to run the chat. It's a lot of work. Apple Tree, thank you. I'll pray for your brother. I see. He was so funny. Mike was just so funny. See, that's the other thing. I mean, Trump has shut down the border and he's blowing up those boats. And there are wonderful people that fall prey to drugs. It's just, again, I didn't expect it to go in this direction. Thank you, Apple Tree. I really pray, or I really appreciate your prayers. And Mike was just so funny. That kid was hilarious. Just hilarious. And we miss him a lot. He was only 40. Any American lives, it will take in Venezuela. It will all be worth it to get their oil. That's terrible. Thank you, Alan. I really appreciate that. I really do. What is grief if not love persevering? Division. The first Avenger. I love that. And something I realized. So what happened in my story, and I hope you all are getting some value out of this, and I feel like we're getting some positive results or reaction to my emotional, unexpected. But here's what I would say. So my father died, and then my brother-in-law died, and my brother Mike died, and they all died. They were all named Mike, and they all died within 2 years. And my father's name was Mike. We called him Big Mike. My brother-in-law's name was Mike. We called him by his last name because his name was Mike. We called him O'Malley. And then my brother Mike died, and we called him Little Mike. And they all died within the space of 2 years. And when Little Mike died, tragically, we were laughing at the funeral, and we said, we're fresh out of Mike's. We're out of milk. We're out of Mike's. But the reason what is grief if not love persevering? It's almost like, and I realized this when my father died, because that was really one of the biggest deaths that I had until I was 45. Anyway, you never know how much you love somebody until they die. And it's just terrible that you have to almost lose them to understand how profound the love was. And so, anyway, I'm going to kick you out because you're saying you don't know anything about my brother. And that's a terrible thing to say. Oh, my dear, I lost 4 in 1 week. Oh, no, 4 people? Oh, that's terrible. Lark Bark, he was. Thank you, Lark Bark. I really appreciate that. The kid was just so funny. So funny. Okay. All right. So I agree with you 100%. And I love this channel, and I have subscribed, thumbs up, people. Thank you so much. I have a couple of more things that I wanted to share, but you guys, I've been going for almost 2 hours. Got 71 in the chat. We're going to take a few more questions. I didn't expect it to take this turn, so I think we'll just take a few more comments. And I'm glad to have met you, Brian, and I'm glad you love this channel, and I'm glad you subscribed. And let's take a few more chats, and then I think I'm going to shut it down because I'm going to meet my mother for dinner. And I will say something about my mom. She could be a very bitter person because she lost, buried a child and a husband. And, it was a rough go for a long time. But my mom is so much fun. She's just a delight. She's 81 years old. She's a blast. She's joyful. She laughs. She's beautiful. And I just feel so blessed because she could be somebody that just would be bitter and angry, and she's not. She's just a blast. In fact, I kind of want to start a channel. My mom does. She goes day drinking every Saturday. She likes to drink the samples at the liquor store, and I'm like, that would be a great channel. I should call it Day Drinking with Grammy. Wouldn't that be fun? Everybody at Binny's knows her. My mother would be really mad if I take. She's really mad if I told everybody. Okay. I'm really sorry for your loss. No, you can ask questions. I'm happy to talk about it. No, please ask away. I will keep the chat open if you guys have questions about the experience with the his addiction and all that kind of stuff. I'd be happy to answer that. I just didn't expect to be so emotional, and I wanted to, but I'm happy to answer questions. Hugs to your mom from us pestering. You're not pestering me at all. And my mom was really, really fun. Thank you, Audrey. I'm going to. My mom is a blast. She's a blast. I don't know who you are of anything of your loss, but I lost my mom. Oh, no. Oh, gosh, that's terrible. I think can only try to be comforted by knowing they're no longer suffering. Bad Kitty, was your mom sick? Please tell me. Maybe we'll spend this time, share something about your mom. I would love to learn, and let's celebrate her for a few minutes. Sorry for your loss, and please do share, because I'd be happy to help you. Domonica Media. Oh, thank you, Bumps. Thank you. I try to be. Have a great day. I'll see you soon. Oh, Brian, you're killing me today. You're the one that just made me, you've changed my day, possibly my week. Thank you. Just knowing that somebody, I'm telling you, I do. Reach out to me. Send me an email. Seriously, for real. I've lived this. So I'll do whatever I can. God bless your mom. You are so based. It's refreshing. Thank you for. Thank you. This is. Thank you. God, you guys are making me cry again. Who knew? My goodness. I apologize. Oh, no, no, no. No, no, no. Audrey, you don't need to apologize for anything. We do protect big pharma. I mean, there's a lot of problems. But you know what? You opened up a magical stream. And, you know, at the end of the day, if I've brought value and helped somebody, even though it's obviously something I didn't expect to be talking about, you know, the loss of my brother, that's a value. And I'm willing to do that. And that's, you know, there's a reason why I'm doing this. So, oh, Bad Kitty. But she was strong and lived well. She passed from colon cancer. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. What was your mom's name, Bad Kitty? Oh, I've got to grab this. Thank God I have some tissue. Who knew it was going to go like this, guys? Who knew? Now I feel like Erica Kirk. I do not want to screw up my eye makeup. Tell me about your mom. What is her name? And may she rest in peace. And we will all pray for your mom here before we close it out for the day. I'll hang on to see your comment because I want to, you know, have everybody maybe offer up a prayer or whatever they're comfortable with for your mom. So I'll hang on for a second. I don't read Greek. 5155. Not sure. I apologize. I was just no, you're totally fine. I don't know what that means. She fought to the end and only spent 3 days on hospital. Oh, that's great. I'm glad that, you know, if she didn't suffer, that's great. My father was sick for so long and he was in hospice for almost 30 days. So, Brian, I appreciate it. Her name is Linda and I appreciate all your prayers. Thank you. Okay. Well, you know, everybody in the chat, let's support Bad Kitty with the passing of her mother. You know, I said this, Bad Kitty, when I lost my father. There is nothing as profound as losing a parent. Now I lost my father and I just think I love my father. He was great too. But your mom, I feel like maybe edges out your father just by a hair because it's your mom. And that literally is the person that literally brings you into the world. So I really, let's all say something for Bad Kitty and anybody who's lost anybody this holiday season. I'm sorry, Kitty. Yeah, me too. God bless you all. Thank you. Yeah. Bad Kitty, I'll pray for your mom. I'm sorry for your loss. Hugs to you. And please pray, keep strong. Okay. You got 68 in the chat. Let's take a few more comments and then we will probably wrap it for today. But Bad Kitty, may your mother rest in peace. God bless you. Okay. Looks like the Audrey Durham 4496. Audrey, I love meeting you today. I love meeting all of you guys today. Bad Kitty, I feel so blessed to thank goodness. I mean, I'm crying. I'm crying now. Are you crying too? This was not the live stream outcome that I expected today. But like I said, if it was worth value to anybody, please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Let's stay in touch. We're building a real community here. And you know, help me grow. I would love it. Super chat, super thanks, or join my channel. It would be great. I would really, really love it. I will pray for you. I am crying now. Well, you know what? It's worth the time then. So anyway, okay, guys, listen, I'm going to shut it down. I didn't realize, you know, but we spent almost 2 hours together today. And I think it's been a great day. And Bad Kitty, we're going to say a special prayer for your mom. And I don't know if you're like planning a funeral or anything this week, or if you have like brothers and sisters or whatever. Lark Bark, Bad Kitty, I pray for you and your mother and your loved ones. I lost my grandmother and mom back in 2017, which was nearly 10 years ago. I So I feel your pain. God bless you. And to everyone struggling. Yeah, it's really a big thing. And, again, what's mattering in life? It's the people in your life, the love that you spread, the memories that you create. Those are the things that matter. And, we're doing this political infighting and Tucker's this and Megyn Kelly's that and all that kind of stuff. And I think that stuff is important. Whatever. It's an interest of mine. But this stuff is what's important, because at the end of the day, that's all you have, And when Mike died, my little brother little Mike died, we said it as a family. We said, his life was so short, dying at 40, that what's important is we're going to start to build memories and experiences with each other. And then the very following year, we started a Christmas tradition of having like a Christmas tea with my niece and my nephew. And we really have been very good about, creating memories and all of that. My wife's boyfriend loved Well, good. I guess that's good. I hope someone likes watching me. Pray for Bad Kitty's mom and for Bad Kitty too. Oh, my Bad Kitty that was trying to get in the video. He's always in the video. Love to y'all. Please be nice to each other. Yeah, I mean, that's important. That's important. So I think the stream went a little wild today with all the trolls, but I think at the end of the day, it was very, very well worth it. Swanky Sasquatch 66, nice to see you. We are not alone. Okay, everyone. God bless y'all and have a wonderful day today. Thanks, Lark Bark. I'm going to sign off too. You guys. So the plan is I'm going to do long form videos on my channel about lots of different things. So I hope you watch those. And then every Sunday, I want to do like this news aggregate where because we're all busy during the week. I'm going back to work next week after a 2-week break. Many of us are. But I want to talk about things that you may have missed during the week. And so this is sort of our little town hall, our little, way to, chat. And even if there's a little cross, fighting back and forth and all that kind of stuff. But that's what I plan to do Sundays around 11, live on Sundays. Please check out my channel in the meantime. One more thing, we're going to end on Bad Kitty. I told my daughter she will never truly be gone as well. We'll always tell stories about her and share her love with others. It's the memories that you build. At the end of the day, it's the memories that you build. When you are going to do that eulogy, like we did for my brother and my father and my brother-in-law, Mike, you're going to do that eulogy. You're not talking about your resume. Everybody knows this. You can't take the money with you. You can't take the cars with you, whatever. But you can take the memories of vacation with you. You can take I remember when little Mike, the one that just got me teared up. It did, Lark Bark, you're right. I remember, great memory. He was a great cook. And one day we all hey, Mike, make us some fried chicken on Sunday. And he just opened up the kitchen and he made it was one of my favorite memories of it. Those are the kind of things that you're going to have. Lark Bark, it was quite the stream. I really didn't expect it, but God works in mysterious ways. And I do pray on this channel a lot. I'm like, hey, God, if you want me to do this channel, and here I go crying again. I'm a mess. Help me with what's important. Oh God, I'm like crazy today. You can take your car with you, but I don't recommend it. But anyway, I really do want, if God wants me to run this channel and do this, I will do it. But I do look for his discernment on, how do I bring value to the audience? Use me, God. Use me. That's what you want to do. Use me. I do that. And, so maybe that's what he has intended for my voice. By the way, I have very small ears. I just want everyone to know how small my ears are, because he didn't want me listening. He wanted me talking. I just tuned into your channel. I had no idea what you were talking about. Then I realized you were talking about losing a loved one and having faith. I hope you're okay. God bless. Gabriel, nice to see you. Yes, we were. We didn't unexpected, but I was talking about the loss of my brother, and then Bad Kitty, one of the ladies in the chat here, lost her mother the day after Christmas, and we were all kind of just trying to support her and celebrate her mom. And it took a different turn because I lost my brother due to a drug overdose and fentanyl, and that's how it all started. And so anyway, welcome. Where are you from? And please say hello. Swanky Sasquatch 66. You're right. You don't. You could take your car with you, but I don't recommend it. I don't either. I'll wait a couple more minutes and then I'm going to sign off. But anyway, excuse me. I think I got a cold or something. I apologize. So I think it's going to be live streams, news aggregate on Sundays, and then my long forms during the week. I'm trying to do that, and I am from Indiana. Hello. And so that's the plan. Gabriel, you are kind of getting on the tail end of this stream. I've been going for 2 hours, and we've had quite a stream today. Took a different turn than I had expected, but I think that, you know what, that's fine. It brought value to people, and I think it kind of was maybe meant to be. So we were celebrating some loved ones and kind of got centered a little bit on what really matters in life, which is your loved ones and your memories that you build. I came for your cold. Yeah, I know. I've got some stuff and stuff like that, and there's something terrible going around. But anyway. Oh, Bad Kitty, I'm so glad you subscribed. Please do join us next week. And we'll end on you and the loss of your mom and Linda, and may she rest in peace. And I'm gonna, mourn her and appreciate how much you loved her, because the greater the love, the greater the grief, the greater the love. And that's a great thing. That's okay. Oh, great. I'm so glad you'll subscribe. Oh, great. Thanks. And please watch the replay, Gabriel, because it did turn out to be something else. Oh, Swanky Swank, I'm so glad you're going to subscribe too. Anyway, I'll see you all next week, and have a great week. And with that, I'm just so glad that we were able to do this again today, and that it turned into what it did, because I think that's real meaning. Anyway, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.